obviously on livestock evaluation. It's something that I competed in a lot in high school. I was even active in 4-H back in the day before I competed in high school. So it's really easy for me to do, and it's really boring, so I'm sorry. But that's what it is. But basically, overall, what it is a method of evaluating live animals. You learn to judge by comparing the ideal animal of each species. Basically, what that means is you have 4 animals in a class, and you rank them 1 through 4. And what you like to do first is you like to find your top animal, which is your ideal animal of each species, and compare the 3 to the other one. And also carrying on a way of selecting animals for breeding purposes, and use to determine when animals are ready for the market. And where to begin with the past 2 things I said, there was a market animal and a breeding animal. Whenever you go into a class, they're going to tell you if this class is for a market purpose or for a breeding purpose. And if it's for market, then you can automatically think that's for meat carcass, how they're going to hang on the rail, how much money you're going to get for basically their meat quality. And breeding is the different traits that they can pass on to their offspring so that they can ensure a better herd for you and your family. And kind of diving into the CDE now, you're only going to judge, I've seen 4 different animals, and that's a beef, sheep, swine, goat. I've only judged goat 1 time, and it was at the state contest, so I didn't really implement that in here. But of all those, you have the breeding and market animals as well. Okay, and this is where I like to start off because this is the most important. Like I said, there are 4 animals in each class, so you're going to rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 4, 3, 2, 1. And your contestant number, that would be your name, and then the class would be what animal, like crossbred heifers. And then your placing score, which would be that. You can circle A, B, C, D, all the way to X. And it's a really simple scoring card. I know I did land evaluation too, and that was a very complex card. That different things played off of different things, but you only have a certain amount of options there, and it's pretty easy to go by. Okay. Jumping into beef cattle. Here we go. And I'm basically going to show you some pictures and kind of talk. And basically, anything that you see is things that you want to take notice in. Whether they have a straight underline or the shoulder, the angle. It's all just basically judging the ideal animal, or trying to get the ideal animal, and that's ones that are most proportional and most structurally sound. And as you can tell, there's so many different things you can look at to try to determine your ideal animal. But once you do, it's really easy to compare all the other ones to it. And this is the cuts of beef. Whenever you're talking about a market animal, you can you look at these more so than the structure, which was the first slide. And then there's a more 3D view, so you can kind of get to see what's going on. Okay, and this is basically what you want to look for is muscling, and that's in a market animal, of course. Finish, which can play into both. Capacity, capacious, how the spring to rib is the term that we use, but basically it's how big they are. And you can see how that plays into market animals, because the bigger the animal is, the more muscle it'll have on it, the more it'll hang on the rail. But also you can see that bringing into breeding, because the wider they are from the pin to the hooks, or the wider spring to ribs they have, then they will carry their calves better. And the structural soundness and balance, as always. I'm just going to use this thing without tapping so much. Okay, this is just different things that you can look into your ideal animal right here, and then the sickle hock, and then the post leg. And then this is an example, and this is what you're going to see. You're going to walk into a class, or your students will walk into a class, and there'll be 4 animals. There'll either be station 1, 2, 3, 4, or there'll be marked with a 1 through 4, or a dash marks 1 through 4. And you just go and you have about 5 minutes, depending on what competition you're in. 5 minutes to go look at the class and determine your placings. However, if it's a reasons class, which we'll get into later, you have 10 minutes, and that's when you take notes on the class and give basically a speech about it. Okay, and this just touches on everything that I said before, except with a different species, with a different animal here. And really, my favorite thing about livestock judging is you don't have to know a lot about everything. They really play off of each other. You can use the same concepts to judge a cow as you can to judge a swine. They're not really that much different. So I could say the same thing that's good about this thing that I could say about this thing, the sheep, that I could say about the cow. So it's really easy. It's really good for your students to pick up and learn, because even though it looks so complex, once they get the hang of it on one animal, it's really easy to get the ball rolling and develop a good judging style for all the other animals. And you don't really judge many market lambs, but this is just to show that that's there. And again, here's an example. All right. And again, we're just going over the same stuff, but with different animals now. And I really developed this PowerPoint presentation towards the students so that you can take this back to your school and kind of start implementing your livestock judging team, not necessarily as an overview, but kind of more in depth. And here's just what you want to look from the rear view, because that with this type of view you can tell how structurally sound the animal is, as well as how it carries itself and its capacity and anything like that. And the undesirable and the different details, you can apply that to the other animals as well. And most of the time, you'd want to be symmetrical and not be sloping or a high arch. So that's for all animals as well. The example of the market hogs class. Here, let me dive into reasons. Reasons is really what separates the good teams from everybody else. Anybody can go into a class and say, I like this cow better than this cow, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's bigger, it looks better, and basically that's usually how it goes. But reasons is where you really get your points and really earn the little blue ribbons. Because reasons is just basically justifying the order of the class, emphasizes place most important characteristics. All those little words that popped up on those white pictures, that's where you want to place those. It's really put across in a competitive presentation. Accuracy and completeness, delivery, organization, and terminology again, and the length of it. You want to give about a 2 to 3 minute speech giving reasons, and that's basically just explaining why you placed this class the way you did. It's really kind of boring to think about if you've never jumped into that, and if you were never in livestock evaluation or what was even in the cattle field. But it's really easy to pick up on, and you can use different formats so that you don't have to write a 3-minute speech and present it in 5 minutes. You can have kind of not really a canned set of reasons, but a way that you can develop your reasons to format them to where you can give them, what's the word for very well? Okay, very well. Without really putting that much thought into it, other than subbing in the terminology. And, yeah, that's it.
There you have it. That's very nice.
Maybe not everybody knows what this term refers to. What does finishing on animal carcass refer to? I know not everybody's animal science.
Well, finishing is, at least what I've been led to believe, is how it's going to hang on the rail, the fat to meat contrast ratio, the finish of the animal is overall meat capacity as compared to the fat capacity.
Good job.
I'll leave that up there for y'all to look at.